Welcome everyone, and this is FehtSama. We're going to be doing a quick little tutorial on how to set up your game or your computer so that you can play Violated Heroine version 191222. I think that's how many. There's a lot of twos in there. Yeah, so I haven't done any tutorials kind of like this in this sort of format, so just bear with me as I go along and explain to you like how I installed it. It was pretty straightforward, but some people were confused as to what was going on, and if you got any other questions, I'll try to answer them as best I can in the comments. But this is going to be on a Windows computer. There's plenty of other instructions on the wiki as to how to set up the other pages. So let's see here. First step is actually the easiest step in my opinion, which is change your system locale. So I'm on a Windows 10 computer. Any other computer has it. You just go into your search bar, open up control panel. However you go and do that, you open up your control panel. And then what you want to go through and click on clock and region, or if you got a link right here, change time and date, number formats. You basically want to get this little window over here that shows the region tabs. You'll have the formats tab, and you want to go to the administration tab. I would suggest you save any other project you got going on here. But yeah, on the administration tab, you want to go to change system locale, and it's going to be administrative sort of change to your computer, so make sure you have permissions to do that to your system. You click on change system locale. If you haven't done this before, it's going to be sitting on English, and anyways, I have it on Japanese because that's how I can run the game, is that you got to have your region code set to Japanese. And we'll get into that in just a sec here. So anyways, you go through, and you would actually, if there's a lot of language here, the easiest way I find is just click on the drop down bar, type in the letter J, it'll jump to the language Japan. That's the easiest there. You go to English though, there's a lot of other languages that start with E, so I want United States. Just to show you what prompts here, you hit OK. And then it's going to show you a little message here. It says, system locale has changed. You must restart your Windows to make this, and it's going to restart your computer. So, like I said, make sure you save anything you got going on your computer before you hit the restart now. Whereas I'm on the Japanese locale. So if it's already set to there, you hit OK, and it's just going to stay right there. Anyways, so you have your system locale changed. Really, it's not going to do anything much to your computer. Error messages might come up in Japanese, depending on what you're trying to do with the computer. And also, if you do like alt codes, like I like to do a lot of alt codes for the role play I do to type in special characters. Those are going to be messed up as you're on Japanese locale. So you might have a bit of that issue where you're like rebooting the computer each time you switch to locale. As far as playing games and installing them and stuff, I've never run into an issue where any of my American games have said, hey, this is a Japanese computer, you need to change it to an English computer in order for us to install this game. I've never run into any issues like that, but I'm sure there's some out there. If it's for Japanese, there's got to be some things like that for English as well in other regions that you live in. So just keep that in mind, that if you have any weird quirks or have trouble installing stuff, you might have accidentally switched your locale, and you'll have to switch it back to your country of origin in order to play or install games that have that sort of issue. So then what we will do here now, right, okay, so the next step is to actually go to the wiki page, which I am a dum-dum and I went and closed, so let me see here. Hopefully it's not too hard to open up the window. Hopefully it doesn't take forever to open. And it's going to take a moment for it to open, so just give it a moment here. Also see all these little shortcuts. These are little games and stuff that I have. If you see any games that I have on my computer screen whenever I upload a video or whatever, just let me know if you like one of them and you want to see a playthrough of them. Ones I have in mind that I want to play is like Shantae, Half Genie Hero, maybe some Remnant, but that's kind of an older game and it's not really like interesting once you beat it, in my opinion. EA just did a deal with Steam, so I've got a bunch of EA games on there like Mirror's Edge. And Remember Me, that one was just a older game, but it was recommended by a friend, so maybe I'll do a playthrough of that. I don't know. I like No Man's Sky, but I don't like really think that my channel's geared towards survival sort of games like Minecraft and Space Odyssey games like that. So maybe we'll get into that later if I get better at being able to present these kind of videos to you guys. Also, the reason why I'm taking up this time is because we're still waiting for that webpage to load. Anyways, okay, looks like it loaded. Even, like I said, even with the website cached on your computer, it's going to take a good minute or two for you to actually see this website. So, load the website. My best recommendation is just type in exactly what that URL is up there. I'm allergic to recording now. This isn't good. Anyways, so, once you get the webpage loaded, then it's pretty straightforward. It's got all sorts of like links and stuff. You can set up for Linux, you got Windows, I think it might have Mac, but I think you just use Wine or something and you can play it like a Windows computer. It's pretty simple. Anyways, Windows setup. So this is really simple. You change your central locale, so that was step 1 there. The next step is to download the RTP, which is the basic like codes and stuff to run RPG Maker games. If anyone's ever played like RPG Maker Studio, you've usually noticed that like the first install is to get an RTP, which I think it stands for resource something pack, but like, you know, telling it what up does on your computer, what down does, those kind of codes, telling how to lay out different like maps onto the screen, how to interact with it. That's kind of important. It's basically a game engine for RPG Maker games, and usually it's separate from a lot of RPG Maker games. Some RPG Maker games, they'll actually compile the RTP into the game, and so it's a little bit bigger folder, so it just kind of is a standalone. But Violated Heroine isn't a standalone, so you just got to make sure you got the right version of your RPG Maker installed. Yeah, usually you just click that link and it'll prompt you where to put the download. I've already got it on my computer, so I don't need to download that again. On my computer over here, let's go to downloads. Hopefully nothing naughty is on my computer. Oh no, it's a Christmas card from one of my roleplay games. That is a naughty picture, but you're not going to see that on this. If you can make something out from that little sliver of an image, then good on you, but yeah, we're not going to blow that up. So anyways, right, it'll have a zip folder. I use 7-zip. If you use WinZip, then I'm just going to say I think it's adware, I think it's spyware, something. It doesn't feel right, especially with all the ads to try and like make you buy something from it. 7-zip is just a utility. I don't think I've ever had any kind of hiccups or any kind of like ads or anything really from 7-zip. Like I said, it's really just seems like a DLL, like this is another way to open up a file. As you can see, I'm very knowledgeable in my computer terminology. I just have this like innate ability to know what a computer button does. I don't know the ins and outs and the exact like vocabulary to describe what's going on here. So anyways, you get your little extract program. If you've got some other program that can do it, just go ahead and go to the drop down file. You can open up the archive, which doesn't really do much good for what we're doing here. What I would recommend, any file that you need to extract, if it won't let you extract it with Windows' normal standalone zip extractor, make sure you extract files, not extract files in the dot, not extract files here. Extract files to where it shows like the title of the folder in parentheses, because then it'll put everything into a folder and you don't have like miscellaneous files floating around your computer and cluttering up things. And then if you move things around too much, then you could probably break the game. I think this game has issues where if it can't find certain data in time, it crashes the game rather than like if it takes more than a millisecond to load something, it messes with the game's engine. So then you have the RTP file downloaded here. What you'll do is you'll open it up, you start up the exe folder. This is one of the main reasons that you need to have it in Japanese locale, is because all of the characters and all the coding and stuff is all in Japanese. It's gonna have, since I've already got it installed, it's asking if I want to like repair it or check if all the files are there. When you open it up, it's just gonna show you a block of Japanese text and then like a continue and a cancel button. Usually the continue button is always gonna be the default thing that's selected. So just make sure you click the one that looks like it's gonna progress instead of going back or canceling the download. At any point, if you do accidentally try to cancel the download, it's gonna prompt you with this screen. This is nothing to be too scared about. It's just basically saying, are you sure you want to cancel the installation? My screen's probably saying, are you sure you want to cancel the RTP checkup or whatever it's trying to do here. So, like I said, I say yes, nothing's going to happen to the files, it's not going to break it, it's just canceling. So, to set your mind at ease on that. Anyways, you go through and you'll hit next, next, next. If you do have the technical know-how to see where it's asking where to put your files, I'm going to leave it up to you guys to figure that out. Just, it's going to default to the C hard drive, whatever you have as your default hard drive. But you can move that around if you want, if you're smart enough to know how to do that. Anyways, once it installs, you will go back to this screen. That's about it. It's installed on your computer. So then what you want to do is go back to our handy dandy website, and that's where we completed step 3, which is basically, just keep clicking until it's done. Step 4 is to download the actual game. This is where I found the latest version of the game. It's kind of hard to tell with this website. Like, I was looking for a good solid day and a half, 2 days, whenever I had time to sit down and look at this thing. I'm like, okay, latest version, this thing, there's nothing to click on. What do I do here? Where do I click? And I think what I actually did whenever I first got the game is I went through here and I was scrolling through and I was like, okay, where is a link to click on? And see, this one's version 190.811 and like 190.413. And I saw it here where it says in blue text, it's hyperlinked to a mirror. And then you click on it and it takes you to a file to download it. But that was a little too far down on the website. What you want to do is, like I said, top of the screen, look down here, step 4. Don't go farther than this little section here. It's right here. It says alternate folder. There's other links on there, but it links to Japanese websites, and it might have more up-to-date files, maybe. I don't know if anyone's actually worked on the game. It's been a whole year. But anyways, alternate file, this link works. I've posted this link in a comment. I'm going to post it in the video description so you guys can have access to it. And then if you guys want to keep on spreading it, go ahead, because I don't know how long these files last, but there's always a chance that once this link goes away or it doesn't work, that it might be, impossible to get the version of the game that you want to play that, in my opinion, is the least bugged up. So what you do here is you don't want to click on anything here on this website, like nothing really. Like, you can go into these different files and look in these different folders and stuff, but just to make things simple, stay on the top folder and then you do download a zip, and it's gonna show you right here. It's got like 4.5 gigabytes, and it's gonna download here. Depending on your browser, just keep it up and wait for it to prompt you. It's going to download, and then eventually it'll be like, where do you want to save this folder file stuff? I don't want it to download, so we're going to cancel that because I already have it on my computer. Yeah, so it'll be on your computer. If you can't get this far, then I think you'll probably have to just, sit this one out and watch someone else play the game. But yeah, you've got your folders on your computer now. I've already got the game unpacked here, but it'll have these zip folders. So you take your little zip extractor program. Mine's 7-zip, and this is a very important reason to extract to title in parentheses. is because when you open up this folder, these are all the different files. This is everything that's going to completely fall out like a spaghetti from someone's pockets. It's just gonna fall on out and go everywhere, and you want to keep it contained. At least I like keeping my files tidy and contained and not like lost everywhere. So yeah, like I did not want to open you. I don't know what you're trying to do here. I probably borked it. Hopefully I didn't bork it. Anyways, so yeah, it's got all these files here. Now, one thing I was going to mention is that when you do this extraction, the title you want to do here, no to all, I cancel that. Okay, when you extract it, if it's, let's see, let's retitle this to 1. Can I? Oh, okay, never mind. I can't change it because I got the game open. But it'll ask you for the password. The password, and I'm going to get a notepad for you here. Notepad. All right, the password is capital N A K A. All right, NANAKO. That's the password. That's really all you got to do for the password. So. Make sure it's capitalized on the N, and then just nanako, and you're solid, you're in the game. No troubles there. So then you have your game sitting here. What you want to do lastly to make sure you're running the game properly, you can run the original game, which is this little icon down here at the bottom. But I run Fatal Mix because it has little debug features, and one of them that I like is the skip text button. There's a shift key. If you've already gone through something, or you just don't want to read the text and you want to get to whatever reason you want to get into this game, if reading's not your thing, then you can hold the shift key down and it'll skip text really fast. Certain debug features will cause the game to like accumulate some sort of errors, and there might be a risk of crashing on that particular save file. So I would personally recommend using these tools to a minimum, just so that you don't run into an issue of like maybe you skipped day and night too many times, and now an NPC won't talk to you because it has to be a certain trigger to say that that activity's on. But like I said, I've never had at this point any issue with playing this version of the game, so you should be pretty solid there. I also wanted to mention that I did say if it wasn't working, or if like the game was crashing and you went to different maps and it crashed during the transition, it might be because all of this data is too far away from your RTP folder install. I may or may not have been talking out of my butt, because I personally have no freaking clue where my RTP folder is hiding at. I know where it's installed, I can't find that folder. It's probably somewhere super simple, but like I said, I look in here, I can't find it necessarily. It's probably in my profile somewhere, but yeah. Anyways, so then you boot up the game. Make sure if you have a certain version of the game that when you start the game, you go on, like for instance on Windows 10, you want to make sure you pin that particular shortcut to your taskbar or put it on the desktop. Reason I would recommend that is because if you've got different versions of the game, you might accidentally load up a version that's an older one, and then you can't load your save files, and that can get confusing. But that's pretty much it. That's all I did. I did a little bit of wiki wandering, and with just a little bit of digging and time, I was able to figure it out, and hopefully this makes things a lot more streamlined for you guys. So let me know what you think, and if you got any other questions, just let me know in the comments. I'll do my best to respond to them. Just depends on how many people respond, and also if you've got like new questions, send a new comment, because for some reason notifications in my box will only tell me like certain conversations, like to the second or third thing. So I don't know if that's an issue with how I've got my settings on my phone or whatever, but a new comment will get my attention faster than trying to continue a conversation too deeply into one comment. Eventually the notifications just stop, and so if someone said something further beyond that, then I don't want to ignore you. That's the biggest thing. I want to make sure that I'm listening to all of the people that are watching the videos. So anyways, that's all I have to say for now. Thank you all for watching, and I will be doing my next recording as soon as possible. Really, the biggest issue, like I said, is this summertime work sort of stuff at my job. I have sporadic hours right now. Even like this week, they split my weekend, so I don't feel like I actually have a solid time off. I feel like my day off is my day of recovery, and I don't like doing videos whenever I feel like shit. So I hope you guys understand that. As soon as wintertime comes along, or if I figure some other kind of way of like getting time to plug in away to this video stuff, I'll be able to do more of them more consistently. And it might come down to a degree of like just organizing my priorities. But right now, my YouTube thing isn't really like a big priority. So if the more you guys follow, the more you guys like, share, and all the other fun stuff, the more it will become my main thing. But right now, my main deal is just, you know, real life stuff, job, and that. So hope you guys all enjoy whenever I do come along, and send you guys more of my interesting escapades and all that fun stuff. So I'll catch you all around, and thank you. Yeah, that was... I'll figure out an outro or something. I don't know. I'm rambling. I'll see you later. Bye.